Our second speaker today has already finished his first 10 speeches with a competent communicator manual. He will be starting his first speech for an advanced communicator manual. I would like to introduce for a speech Chief Frog, our president of Toastmasters, Mathews.
Fellow Toastmasters on the desk, like I said in the beginning, I hope you had a great Christmas break. I had a great Christmas break myself. And over this break, I heard a fascinating story that I'm going to share with you today. So I'd like to invite you to, people in the back, please move over here where we have 3 seats. I'd like to get everyone as close to me as possible. This is story time. So starting with Kieran, lead the way. Let's get as close as possible. If you want to, you can sit Indian style right here. Cross legs. Wide your hand. In a land in the Far East, on the island chain of Japan, and once upon a time, there was a frog, a blue frog. This blue frog was as blue as the sky. And this blue frog was from the city. He was a supercilious blue frog. And he was from the city of the once capital of Japan, Kyoto. Now this booming city, it had a river winding through it like a snake. And in the middle of this city, next to that river, lies this supercilious blue frog. He was used to the booming of traffic, the lights, the noise, that weird smell that Atlanta has and I'm sure Kyoto has as well. He was used to this. But one day in this frog's life, he was tired of it. He wanted something better, something he thought was better. He wanted to go beyond Kyoto. He wasn't a small-time city frog. He wanted to go out and be a big-time country frog. So this frog set off on his way to the country, down a long, narrow path. But this frog wasn't an adventurer. He wasn't an experienced traveler. So obviously, he became tired. So we're going to pause right there. This story is about 2 frogs. There once was a pink frog. As pink as Nicki Minaj's lipstick. And this pink frog lived deep in the country, way far along beyond Kyoto. Rice paddies, as far as the eye can see. And in between these rice paddies lie a narrow road. And there was a ditch beside that road. And that is where our second frog, the pink frog, lived. She liked to call this ditch a stream, but it was a ditch, and she lived there. And she loved it, because that's all she knew. But just like the blue frog, there came a time in this frog's life where it just wasn't good enough. She wanted something more. She wanted to aspire to be better, in a different place, do different things. So she set out on a path to the city. Now, my friends, the blue frog and the pink frog are on the same route, going from homeland to destination, homeland to destination. And all of a sudden, in their path, these tired, weary travelers lie a mountain. This mountain wasn't as tall as Mount Fuji, the tallest mountain in Japan. No. It was around 365, 66 feet. Mount Yama lie in the path of these weary travelers. These travelers said to themselves, they said, I'm going to make it to the top of that mountain. Once I get up there, then I'll rest. So they climbed. Well, they hopped. And they hopped. all the way up through forests, creek beds, even predators they had to avoid just to get to that mountain. Thank you. And once they got to the top of the mountain, if you've ever been to Stone Mountain, who's been to Stone Mountain? Okay, the top of this mountain beyond the loop, just like that, but a little smaller, obviously. These frogs, they hopped to the top, and they saw each other. Shook hands, talked about their homeland, conversated. And then the city, supercilious frog, he had an idea. He said, if we can stand on our hind legs and put our front paws against one another, we'll be just high enough to see where we're headed before we get there. And then we don't have to waste so much time. So that's exactly what these frogs did. They got on their hind legs, put their nose in the direction they wanted to go, and alas, they saw what they wanted to see. But it looked just like where they came from. These frogs were foolish. They were silly. The anatomy of the frog and the way the frog's head is shaped, although their nose was pointed in the direction they wanted to go, their eyes were in the back of their head. So they were really seeing where they just came from. Okay? So these foolish frogs, thinking they had seen where they wanted to go, turned around and headed right back home. And that's where they lived and spent the rest of their days happy. The story of the two frogs. Fellow Toastmasters guests, this Japanese folktale, the story of the two frogs, goes back hundreds of years. To me, this story hit home. It relates to all of us, especially at the beginning of our semester. We're told throughout life the grass is always greener on the other side. Well, it's kind of true. Think about where you came from. Where were you at that time? When was that not good enough? That you had to go to school, get a degree, and you're here right now, still striving, looking forward to the future. Well, if you're like me, you find yourself not appreciating where you're at right now, every day. That's what I think the moral of the story is, appreciating the now and being happy with who you are. The other moral I think the story is telling us is that the blue supercilious frog, I mean, why was the pink frog listening to the frog in the first place? Why didn't she question him? Why did she listen to him? Why did she take it as truth? Why did she leave her dreams and go back home? I think that's the second moral of the story. We need to question everything. We should never feel like something's good enough. You got to question everything and think about it. I'm an engineer, aspiring, so we're always talking about problem solving. So you need to keep on thinking and solving problems. Really, the problem is never fully solved. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, this is the story, the Japanese story, folktale, of the two frogs. And thank you for your time.
Great job. I'd like 30 seconds for feedback down for the second speech. Again, same with the first one. Some pros, some cons. Friends Matter, our speaker, Chairman Bohn. Thank you, Toastmaster. I'm sure all of us have had that feeling your first time coming to UGA, where you felt completely alone. You had possibly 0 friends that went here, and it was just unnerving. And so at that point, you have felt the innate desire for belonging and community that we all have. For instance, how many of you have 0 friends? Raise your hand. See, we're naturally drawn to make friends with other people. It's a natural phenomenon that kind of describes humans. So the thing that's problem with your friends is you don't have enough. You need more friends. And the way to change that is to change how you interact with other people. So don't think of an awkward situation where you don't know anybody as an awkward situation only. Think of it as a chance to gain a new friend, as an opportunity to communicate with someone you don't know before, and through that make a new friend. So why would I want to make new friends, though? Well, there are plenty of benefits to friends, and I can't think of any cons. So for instance, friends can motivate you to do better. I was in my old college. I transferred here about 2 years ago and came here. And at my old college, there was this girl. We had a competition in biology 102 class, and we would compete who could get the better grade on stuff, and I won. But through that, it pushed us to better ourselves. So that's an aspect of friends that's really positive, and that the more friends you have, the more opportunities for that. Another instance in my life, at least, was motivation. So it kind of is the same as a competition, but in this instance, it really changed my life, and I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for it. A different girl this time, but every time I would bring up transferring to UGA, I wouldn't be worried about it. I wouldn't do good in school. I wouldn't, know anybody. And she every time would tell me, "I believe in you. I think you can do it. I know you're going to be successful. You work so hard, and you have such a good attitude towards it." And I believed her, and I ended up transferring her here today because of that. And I'm sure you've had situations in your own life where you've had a horrible day, nothing seemed to go right, everything went wrong. And then you hang out with your friends. You went to a dinner, movie, party, whatever, and it changed your whole mood to horrible to excellent. So you see, there are plenty of benefits to making friends. I can't think of any cons, except maybe, have too much fun, but So how do you go about changing those interactions, though, to gain more of these positive benefits? Well, like I already said before, you need to think of interactions differently. So I know when you're in class, and I'm guilty of this too every now and then, and there's people you don't know sitting next to you in class, and this is what I do sometimes. I'll just sit there and look at my phone. And you need to take that instance, especially if they're not talking to anybody they know, right next to you, you need to go and talk to them. I actually made one of my greatest friends doing that. He had a Alienware backpack. I don't computer game, but I used to. And he had an Alienware backpack, which is a computer gaming thing. And I said, "Hey, is that Alienware?" He's like, "Yeah, it is." And we talked about, what kind of games he played. And now we're like, oh, he's probably one of my best friends. So don't take those chances for granted. And another thing, this is a new year, so other than just classes, you can also join tons of clubs. And one of those clubs is Toastmasters. And there's a couple different ways. Not only can you just make friends here with the people that are here. Let me tell you, people here are great. They are very motivated, as you can tell by their membership in a club and their free time to increase their communication skills. They also have great aspirations. Our president here is going to be a future Navy SEAL, and then Chris Travers. Did he step out? Okay, well, he's going to be a product manager, probably for a very good tech company. So you see, we're very motivated people, and we have high career aspirations.
another thing that probably no other club can really offer is the fact that when you come up here and you talk in front of people that you don't know before, it makes it easier to talk to just one person that you've never met before. If you can talk to 30 people, I kind of just talk to somebody, just one person. And another thing is you can kind of see how other people view your communication when you get evaluated in the speech like I'm about to. Hopefully good. Awesome. But, it kind of lets you see, like, oh, do I make enough eye contact with other people? Or, do I fidget around? Because a lot of those things probably transfer over to, one-on-one interaction with people you don't know. And that's what this club can also give you. I know, shameless plug, I'm an officer of the club, but it really does work. So, another thing is, if you aren't a friend to other people, you won't gain any friends. So, people love to talk about themselves. So, ask people questions, and don't ask mundane questions like, how's your weekend? Or possibly offensive questions like, is this your first time taking a class? But ask them things like, why did you take this class if it's an elective? Or, like I said, ask them something that you can see visibly that is an interest to them. I highly doubt that any of you know everybody at the school